Hello, welcome to the Afia podcast. The Afia podcast is the podcast where we talk about the Igbo man, his life, his business, and the markets. Today we have someone interesting joining us on the conversation we have, Dr. Uche Nwobia. Welcome, sir. It's a pleasure having you at the table, sir.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Welcome, sir. Please tell us a little about yourself, what you do, and all of that.
Okay, by the grace of God, I am into the microfinance sector. Precisely, I run a microfinance cooperative in town, and I've been doing that for over 25 years.
Beautiful.
And incidentally, we major on the subject of discussion today.
Today we're talking about Isusu, the Isusu model for savings, funding, and all of that for business. So tell us a little, what is the Isusu, the Isusu structure? What does it look like?
Okay, interestingly, the Isusu structure is a form of a traditional form of cooperation.
Yes.
Among the African society.
Yes.
Whereby a group of individuals or credit associations contribute to an informal savings for mutual benefit. You discover that it has been originally, there is this insight that it originated from the Yorubas. And in Yoruba, they call it Isusu.
Isusu.
Yes, and in Igbo, they call it Isusu.
Yes.
Then the Hausas call it Adashe. That is what the Hausas call it.
Yes.
It has been there. We have two major forms of the Isusu structure. We have the one for agricultural production, and we have the one for creative financing. Now, in the agricultural production, is mainly seen among the Yorubas. People gather together, group of 10, 20. They gather together and they come together to farm for a member. They do the tilling, do the cultivation, do the weeding, and do the harvesting for a particular member.
Turns, and then
they take their turns.
Yes. Yes.
Another time they go for another member. And by the time you know it, it gives them the ability to cultivate large hectares of land. All that are in that group, all will help at every point in time. That is for the agricultural side.
Yes.
Now, when you talk about the credit financing,
yes,
it's a situation whereby in the area of credit financing it can be looked at two ways.
Yes.
The first one is individuals gathering together to contribute money. And they now maybe do a little balloting to now determine the sequence on how they pick this money.
Yes.
10 persons in a particular society can now decide to contribute 10,000 naira at the end of every month.
Yes.
Because they can't get capital.
Yes.
Now, when they contribute it based on their ballot system, the person that picked the first position will now collect the entire money.
Yes.
Assuming they are 10, the person collects 100,000.
Yes.
Which will now help him as a capital to take off whatever business he wants to do.
Yes.
And they will now take their turn.
Beautiful.
That is for individuals. Now, we have the second group of what we call professional collectors.
Yes.
These people, they go about collecting money from little businesses to help them save. At the end of the month, the collector, the professional Isusu collector, now pays back the money.
Yes.
Or most times based on the request of those that contribute.
Yes.
And now collects a small commission.
Yes.
In fact, as a matter of fact, most times the system is this way. Assuming a particular person contributes to 200 naira every day.
Yes.
Then at the end of the month, the commission, or what I call the service charge, will now be that amount to contribute daily. It may be 200 naira. That is the amount the Isusu professional collector collects as the commission.
Yes.
And that is on the side of the professional collectors.
All right. Do you think that the Isusu structure as it is now is perfect in itself, or are there places you'd suggest improvements?
It's perfect in a way, but there are still some areas to be developed, really.
What are these challenges?
The challenges is that most times we have this problem of, because basically Isusu structure it's a business of trust. Most times we have this problem of a lack of mutual allegiance and mutual trust among people that are involved in it.
Yes.
Like the example I gave, maybe 10 individuals contributing 10,000 at the end of every month, and one person picks. You discover that along the line, 2 or 3%.
Yes.
The person, they will say that they are in trouble. They are in trouble. They can't contribute. You can see.
Yes, sir.
The others will now, that is the problem. Mutual trust.
How do you think we can counteract this?
Well, I think it has to do with individuals. A man I respect so much, Billy Graham, he said, I quote, that when money is lost, nothing is lost.
Yes.
And when health is lost, something is lost.
Yes.
But when character is lost, all is lost. So I think it's a matter of character. If somebody has that character, you have the fear of God.
Yes.
You discover that the money you are collecting or the money that has been given to you, you have a responsibility to give it back to the people that have contributed it.
Yes. Or to use it for what it was.
Thank you. That is the issue. It's a matter of trust and dependence. And that is why most people that have entered, like in this town now, many of the professional collectors, they will collect money from people by November or December when these Igbo traders will want this money back.
Yes.
To put in their business for the season. The individuals will disappear. There are a lot of cases in this town. They will just disappear into thin air.
Yes.
So that is the thing. But you discover that when there is mutual trust.
Yes.
I said earlier that it's a business of trust. And people observe over time that you are trusted.
Yes.
That you fear God. You can't disappear with their money.
Yes.
It's a big institution. As a matter of fact, I told you that for the past 25 years, we have been in this business. I started it alone. And now the organization, we have up to 20 persons who are into this large place. And it's because that over the years, you have built goodwill. And that goodwill is centered on trust. People know that when we help them in this traditional form to save their money, that at the end of the day, collect back their money. There was a time, sometime last year, somebody called me on phone, and the woman, precisely, she was thanking me for the way our organization have helped her over the years. I said, what happened? She told me that when she started this Isusu thing with us, that the little daughter,
Interesting.
That and the money, yes, that she's still in the business. Beautiful. So she was thanking me for all the years we have been in this business. Without failing her one day, I was touched. Wow. So it's a business of trust. Wow. It's not something you enter into because you saw others doing it, or else you just disappear with people's money.
So, there are people that now get into these sort of cooperatives and
okay.
Is there any way they can find redress or something?
Basically, for the professional collectors, look at the way it goes. They have a card.
Yes.
And that is why it's easy for people to enter into that business.
Yes.
But most times when people enter into that business, they disappear with people's funds.
Yes.
What does it take to enter into the business? You just register for those who will want to follow the law.
Yes.
You register the setup, the cooperative setup, maybe with State Ministry of Cooperatives. You are registered, you now print a card.
Yes.
Basically, for the professional collectors, they have a card where if they collect from these traders, they will mark the card and give it back to the traders. Now, what most of them do basically is that when that trader will now want this money, they will collect the card back from the trader, go to the office, process it, and now bring the money and the card back to the person. Now, in a situation whereby the guy is dubious, he collects the card and it disappears into thin air. So even if you are reporting to the police or to the authorities, you don't have any evidence to prove that money was given to this guy. He disappears. You won't see the card, you will not see the money. That is why I say basically that this is a business of trust. And it's not just in this country, all over the world. In fact, there was a time I was in one country. I was so surprised. I was eating in a restaurant and I saw a guy with a bag. He came to the restaurant person I was collecting
his own Isuzu.
I was so surprised. Yeah. I was so surprised. I say, so this traditional African thing is equally happening in this particular country. I was so surprised. But we discovered that basically this is what helps small businesses informally to save and to progress. Because the moment they save and they collect this money in bulk, they put into their business and their business expands.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's look at the advantages of this Isuzu model for the business person.
Okay.
So let's take an example. I save with you.
Okay.
Right. And in the process of doing these things, I lose my business. Is it possible to come back to the cooperative that I've been working with and ask them, nah, you people should help me? Some sort of insurance. Do cooperatives provide insurance for their members?
To some extent, yes. But you know that, like in my own organization, we don't just collect Isuzu. We equally help our members. We help the people that contribute this money with soft loans. But usually we have a limit. And we only lend to our members. The authorities don't allow us to lend to the public. We only lend to our members of the cooperative.
Yes.
Now, in a situation where you have a business failure or you have a problem in your business, we look at that business and see how you can be helped financially. But the fact remains that we have a ceiling. Like in my organization, we cannot give a member more than 250,000. That's our ceiling. We don't give more than 250,000. Yes. But the moment we give you that money, we have a strategy whereby we help you to repay this money. And in my own organization, you repay every 2 weeks. As you put into your business, start again, you will now begin to pay back every 2 weeks based on the amount. And most times you give people up to 6 months to pay. They'll pay in gradually.
Are there cases where you give people these loans and they're not able to pay back?
Very few cases. Like in my organization, usually.
Why do you think that is so?
Why it's so is that most times there might be natural hazards. Somebody can be incapacitated. There was a guy we gave a loan of 100,000 and along the line, he had stroke and he cannot move again. So such ones, we know is a special case. We will now call on the guarantor because we don't just give out loans. People get guarantors, to guarantee them. Like in my own organization, you must get 2 guarantors. And your wife or your husband must be there. Your wife or your husband will be aware that this money is given to also for business. Fine. Where there's a problem, natural hazards or e-health, then the 2 guarantors will now come together and begin to pay. Yes. Yeah, because if that doesn't happen, then we close our shops. We have not prayed for you to be sick, but if you are sick, then the guarantors will pay. So ab initio, we tell the 2 guarantors, look, this money we are giving, if anything happens, both of you will pay, and they will sign, documented. So if anything happens, it's a natural thing, they will begin to pay. But most times our experience is that they will not tell us, look, give us time. Look at how we want to spread this repayment. Because we never planned for it. But at the end of the day, they pay.
Okay, let's talk about the businesses.
Okay.
If you trade with most small Igbo businesses in this market, you'd find out that a lot of them are unbanked.
Yes.
Right? I want to transfer to your account.
Okay.
I don't have a bank account.
Okay.
Is the Isuzu system, can it like cover for a bank? Do you keep money for people?
Yeah. Well, I think as a matter of fact, the Isuzu system, I consider it basically as a link between the formal and the informal sector. Remember, this Isuzu professional collector collects money from various people. And if it's wise, he goes to the bank to bank the money. So this informal cash that is in the hands of people through the Isuzu collector as a link enters into the bank. And anytime, most of the Isuzu collectors will tell you in that card, that if you want your money, give them a day or 2 days notice. Why are they doing that? So that they will now go to the bank and pick some money. So what they do is that when they collect this money, they will now send it to the bank. And anytime any of the contributors will want the money, they will now go to the bank and collect. So it's basically a link. Most of the traders don't go to the bank because basically an Igbo man, are you aware that as I'm talking now, in Aba as a town, they don't do weddings on Saturdays? Because nobody will want to leave his shop and come for your wedding on Saturday. When do the weddings are on Sunday. Go and verify. In Aba as a town. I know of Aba. I don't know what happens in other places, but Aba as a town, people don't do weddings on Saturday, but rather on Sundays. Because an average Igbo man will not want to leave his shop for anything. So why should I leave my shop and go to the bank and spend 3 hours? No. He will prefer to be in the shop.
And have someone come and pick.
Yes, I have some, thank you. I have someone come and pick. So from my experience for these 25 years, there are some people that have up to more than 1 million naira in their account through the Isusu scheme. They contribute and they don't touch it. By the grace of God, because of the level of the length of time we have been in the business and the goodwill. You see people, they don't have any other bank account. It's just through the Isusu system. In fact, some of them will testify, look, through this system, I built my house in the village, I built my house in Enugu, and my business is big. So some of them, that is their only form of banking. So I'm looking at a situation whereby if this thing is, if it's harnessed very well, it will help a lot of people.
Yes.
Because judging the population of this country, there is no amount of, in fact, when I look at the microfinance organization, microfinance banks, I laugh because most of them, even though most of them are into this Isusu method, most of the microfinance banks, they
want to be like the big banks.
Yeah, they want to be like the big bank, but the fact is that they don't have the manpower to really penetrate to the grassroots and collect from these people. That is the problem. So if the Isusu system is harnessed very well, it will help a lot of people. And I don't know, but there is this feeling among the traders that any profit they make any day, if they don't remove something, the moment they get back home, the money will go. So if in a particular day, the average Igbo man does not contribute the Isusu thing, then he's apprehensive. He wants the money to go out of his hands. And that system helps them so much. They save a lot of money through it. Some save their money to pay salaries. Some save their money to replenish their goods. Some save the money to pay bills at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And what have you? Many, they have a lot of reasons why they do it.
Beautiful. So we're looking at the Isusu system now.
Okay.
And the Isusu system as it is, do you think that the Isusu system is evolving with the markets? Most Isusu collectors are don't have electronic platforms and all of that. Do you think that's a challenge?
Yeah, it's a big challenge really because like in our own business, I discovered that most of our customers, even though they are traders, they will not want to give cash. They will tell you, guy, I want to transfer my collection, my Isusu for today, maybe 5,000. Let me have your account number. I want to transfer the money. Some of them are into transfers. Now, you discover that most of the professional Isusu collectors, they don't have the platform electronically to take care of these customers. But I'm looking at a situation whereby with time, I'm looking at the professional collectors. There may be, a platform whereby they can now help the customers to now still contribute. Basically, not with cash, but through transfers. But it will not be now. It will be with time. Because gradually, the ICT is touching a lot of things. Even some customers, after contributing, they don't collect the money cash. They will tell us, wire this money into this account. They won't come. They'll just give the instruction. Do written instruction anyway. As an evidence for us.
All right.
So it's with time. Things will change with time. And most times, the professional collectors, they don't have the software. It's not just collecting money from people.
Yes.
You should have a very strong banking software. That will help you to put in all this money that you have collected from the individual accounts, so that when they need it, you can still go into the system, the amount this guy have collected, have saved for the period, and now pay.
Yes.
So most of the professional institute collectors,
Yes.
they don't have the banking software to take care of this. Rather, they use manual method. And if the customers increase,
card and
yes,
I
did to where. And when the customers increase, assuming the customers increase up to 1,000,
What is it called? Ibuhaka?
there is no way you cannot meet up. In fact, you die of stress. Because it will mean that every day you will be recording transactions for 100%. It may be taking you 5-6 hours every day, but with the banking software, it's something you can do under 1 hour.
You run a cooperative.
Yes.
Do you have a banking software for a cooperative?
Very costly. If I tell you the amount we spent in getting that software, you shout. But over the years, that helped us. It has added value to the organization. Yeah.
It's all right. So, if I want to start an Isuzu group,
Okay.
what are the processes? How do I go?
Well,
about
most
it?
times the social groups are informal. You don't need any registration. You just gather 10, 15 persons that you feel are of like mind, your friends, and share with them your vision.
Do I have to go through any legal documentation?
No, you don't have to. Well, it depends. If you want to make it strong, you can now invite a lawyer to do some agreement where all of you will sign. But remember that apart from that agreement too, anybody who wants to be funny can still be funny.
Yes, like one of our guests said, he said that it is the character of the man that will eventually show in the business.
That is it. So most times when people gather together to contribute money, I don't know, there is this type of funny power that goes with money. And most times...
Some people say that money has a spirit.
Yeah, that is true, really. And that is why I touch the aspect of character. Now, if you have character, you discover that when it comes to money, you exhibit a strong level of integrity.
Yes.
The moment people have contributed to you, you have taken your share, then you have no option than to be faithful to contribute for others. But most times, the average Igbo man loves money so much. And because of it, most times people...
Do you think it's just the Igbo man?
Generally. But there's this adage. Now, we get you man on you, but I won't go. But if you are fair, you're going to I don't know. Have you heard of that adage before?
I've heard it for the first time today. If I go
I don't know. There is this. I don't know whether it is peculiar with Igbo men, but Igbo culture. But I know that the Igbos they have strong this thing for money. I don't know, but I've observed it.
Yes.
I've observed it.
So you talk about character, right, and money. What steps do you take? What procedures do you take to ensure that people you employ, your collectors, that's within your cooperative, that there are people that have like minds with you, that they won't try anything funny with ego momadu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, most times it's difficult. You cannot achieve 100% in that area.
Yes.
Yeah, because somebody can have a good character today, tomorrow, after some time.
Have you had a case like that?
The person will change. Yes, we have cases like that.
What do you do?
But the fact is that most times, for the past 25 years, we have a culture. And that culture is that in anybody that is to be employed in that organization, I will always be there in the interview. And I want to make sure that this woman or this man is a born-again child of God. Basically, that is what I do. Now, I will ask you, have you repented? You said yes. When did you repent? You tell me. Then give me your testimony. And to some greater extent, the Holy Spirit will always help me when I'm listening to you to know whether you are genuine or not. That is the basic thing we do in our interviews. Then it doesn't remove the fact that over these years, some people that we even employed as believers, that some of them may not be funny. But the banking software has helped us so much. Unless if the money you collected did not come into the company. The moment it comes into the company and you do something funny, it will showcase. And most times what I do is that, I don't know, I normally give people the second chance. When I observe that you have touched customers' money, I will call you, give you a second chance. And most times I may convert it to a loan for you to pay from your salary. And when you try it the second time, then you are dismissed. Because the indication, I worked in the bank for almost 15 years before I left as a manager.
Yes.
And entered into this organization.
Yeah.
In the bank, the moment you are caught, even if it is 10 naira, you go. Because the perception is that if you can touch 10 naira that belongs to the bank, if you see 1 million naira, the money will go. But in our own organization, basically, I give these young people the second chance.
Is it mostly young people that's...
It's mixed up. We have young people, we have middle-aged. Okay. The security guy is elderly. The organization. It's mixed up.
So the people that try funny things, are they like the younger people?
Mostly young people. Young people are ambitious. Young people are ambitious.
Yes.
But the thing is that it's like a family. I make them comfortable. I make the people comfortable. The salary is not too wonderful. I don't pay like Zenith Bank or First Bank, but I make you comfortable because apart from your salary, your output, the value you add to the company, you collect a bonus at the end of every month. And basically, there's something I do like a madman. All the medical bills, I write it off. The moment you are sick in that organization, I write off your medical bill, no matter the amount. And 60% of them, I provided accommodation free.
Wow.
So it gives them a sense of belonging. They look at the organization as their own. So there are things they cannot do. There are things they cannot do. So I take them as my own children and I try to give them a sense of belonging. Most times I go out of my way. All their bad days I know. During their bad days, we pray with them, commemorate their bad day, get cake for them, make them have a sense of belonging. So when they are touching people's money, even if they have that temptation, they will not go far. I don't know whether I'm communicating.
You are communicating, sir. This is the last question we're rounding off.
Okay.
With your experience as a banker, when people come for funding for their business, what is usually that thing that disqualifies them? Because you'd see a lot of Igbo businesses that need to scale. They need funding. And the problem is they apply. And on wake a leg. What is that thing? Why do these applications usually bend?
Most times organizations don't like funding new businesses because you can't predict the future. If you are starting a business new, you can't really predict what happens. Basically, if you are repaying back the loan from that business. Then too, I've discovered that most Igbo traders, I'm sorry to say this, they don't have records. There's no way I can now judge your business well if you don't have records. Guy, your sales for the past 3 months, can I see it? You tell me you don't have any. So most times, because they don't have records, most times some traders that don't have records, they eat into their capital. Before they know it, everything is gone. And that is why I keep telling people, watch the trend. I was tempted at a time to do a research from the traders we deal with. I've discovered, Nandini Neba boy, buy into business. They do very well.
Now there's a mountain to climb. We're leaving no one behind. This is our time to shine. Can you feel it? Across the lake, through the heartache and pain. After the storm comes the rain. I can see there's no mountain we can climb. We can make it if we try. If we all say yes, I believe.
NAFest 2024, the Battle of the States.
Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
On the news today, Governor Mba announces 80,000 naira as the new minimum wage for workers. From the nation's capital, President Tinubu restricts ministers, others to a maximum of 3 vehicles in other official convoys. On the business news, FEC approves establishment of the Creative Economy Development Fund. And on the foreign scene, King Charles acknowledges painful slavery past. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining me on the news today. I am Marvelous Apwamaga, broadcasting live from Enugu State, Nigeria. The governor of Enugu State has announced 80,000 naira as the new minimum wage for the state workers with immediate effect. Governor Mba, while speaking with the labor unions, assures consistent payment of wages to ensure lasting legacy of improved living conditions. Chidima Madu, Afia TV's Government House correspondent, has the details.
Today, I am happy to announce a new minimum wage for workers in Enugu State, reflecting our fidelity to their welfare, in regard of which we have been resolutely committed. We have approved the sum of 80,000 naira to take immediate effect as the new minimum wage in Enugu State.
recognizing the importance of the welfare of Enugu State workers, Governor Peter Mba, addressing the labor union on the new minimum wage, spoke on his commitment to the welfare of workers in the state. Governor Mba says this is to inspire the workers, reduce poverty and achieve unprecedented growth while receiving other incentives through state government projects and programs.
The best way to acknowledge that our labor creates wealth is by ensuring that the workforce, which creates the wealth that oils the wheel of government, is sufficiently motivated. We have similarly demonstrated our commitment to workers' welfare through the consistent payment of the wage awards, a gesture we had pledged to sustain until a new wage structure took effect. The entire range of our social services program is anchored on the firm conviction that our human resources remain our greatest assets. We will continue to incentivize and motivate our workers because a motivated workforce is a productive workforce.
Some members of the labor union and the ALGO chairman who spoke to newsmen thanked Governor Mba for implementing the new minimum wage and urged the workers to be more productive.
We appreciate you heavily for coming up with 80,000 naira minimum wage as against the approved national minimum wage of 70,000. And today, you have announced a minimum wage that is first of its kind since my 32 years in the service. What we know in the past, Your Excellency, is where minimum wage is announced and it takes us 1 year, 2 years, 3 years to actualize it. And whatever we get becomes the minimum wage. Your Excellency, we are grateful. We are assuring you that you have done your best for the workers. Our own is that we are like Oliver Twist. We'll continue to ask for more. Remember our pensioners, Your Excellency, in this journey. The workers are going to be happy. We're praying that Your Excellency, in your own magnanimous heart, will remember the pensioners because they are all so part of Enugu and they have paid their dues to the state.
Actually, when we entered into the negotiation, we were afraid because we knew quite well that we are not among the states that share oil dividend like Rivers and other states in the country. We know quite well that we are at the back when it comes to federal allocation. But His Excellency actually surprised us. One thing we have seen is that he understands the impact of motivation on productivity. And that is what is happening today, that we are transiting from the era of wage awards to new minimum wage. And it's not just minimum wage as stipulated by law, but above the minimum wage, 80,000 naira. We thank His Excellency. And he said that the approval is with immediate effect. That implies that even the month that is almost ending is included in the new minimum wage. That implies that if there is a worker retiring in this month of October, he's also going with no minimum wage. This is really an action governor. He has not been talking so much, but his actions speak louder than ordinary words. We thank him so much, and the workers appreciate him.
We thank His Excellency for this wonderful move. The country and local government can not thrive without a better wage. And just like you said up there, that when you motivate workers, they do more, they become more productive. What I'm promising on behalf of the Adon family is that we are going to cascade this to the local government level. So implementation begins immediately. And I also appeal to the leaders of the unions, the labor, the NUT, the NOGE, to charge the workers on increasing their productivity, because we can't be paying for something we will not get a good result out of it.
In Enugu, Chidima Mado for Afia TV.
Away from that, our witnesses have revealed the shocking event that led to an accident that left both a tricyclist and a vehicle inspector in critical condition. Afia TV correspondent Marianne Lebaye has the detail.
In what appears to be a hot pursuit gone wrong, eyewitnesses have recounted an accident that took place in the early hours of Thursday involving a tricyclist and a female vehicle inspection officer along Opera Square, Independence Layout, Enugu State.
Someone started and fly away from outside from the windscreen. So the guy someone started and fly out from that place and fell down and fainted. So even the PIO woman, she's not getting herself also. So we advise this PIO people and the MOT, they should know how them pursue people. People are getting scared. And the other day, people motor want to nearly hit somebody down in this place. Please, government should warn them. The woman was inside the car, and she draw the handbrake by mistakenly. I mean, she intentionally draw the handbrake, and the guy now someone started. The keke now someone started. The guy fainted. He's unconscious since then, and they rushed him to hospital. The VIO woman disappeared. We don't see her. She injured as well. All her labs new. So government should know what they would do. This incident happened around 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I was there and I heard a sound. getting to there, I saw somebody lying down. People are trying to revive him. Then the other officer on the uniform, VIO, sustained different degrees of injury. So that is all I saw. She was told to take the guy to office. Then the guy tried to take her away. At point of the incident, he did not die. Yeah, the lady sustained injury, and I think nobody talked to the lady. The whole focus was on the one that is has already fainted, the treated guy.
So, time honorable. So, I but in the night was in the so his maybe ndị na-ewepụta wee gbara ọsọ isi ndị moto kwụsị biko nnukwu na mmadụ na-anwụ ebe a gazi bịa kele agba nọ ndị EO asịkọ so ewepụzie ahụ dis girl ahụ ya niile gwụrụ agwụ onye keke slap eme ọda na-agbazi mmiri na-agba ya mmiri so mgbe ejichiri mgbe a na-ekuzi ebe ọ na-emetụta na-ekiri na-ekuzie ya ndị mmadụ akpatazie nnukwu
The tricyclist was said to be attempting to evade the VIO official who was instructed to take him to the VIO office. The reason for the apprehension is still unclear, but events escalated when he allegedly tried to escape. The VIO official pulled on the tricycle's handbrake, causing it to somersault, propelling him out of the windscreen, leaving him unconscious and the official injured. The unconscious tricyclist was seen lying by the side of the road, surrounded by a crowd, while the female vehicle inspection officer was also said to be in critical condition. Residents, however, have called on the government to caution the traffic officials about their pursuit of suspects. More details in subsequent bulletins.
In a separate development, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has detained 4 suspects for vandalism and stealing railway infrastructure worth multi-million naira within a Hamofu community in Enugu State. The commandant of NSCDC, Enugu State Command, Mr. Cyprian Utobi, told newsmen in a briefing on Thursday that hundreds of sliced railway lines and sleepers worth multi-million naira were carefully concealed under several bags of sawdust. Utobi said the 4 suspects were involved in the illegal excavation of railway lines and sleepers in a Hamanfu community in Isuzo local government area of the state on October 22 at about 7:15 a.m. According to him, a patrol team from the Isuzo division of the NCDC, acting on credible intelligence from an informant, intercepted a truck fully loaded with stolen railway sleepers along the Amakbe-Ogbete road with a Hamanfu community. Similarly, civil servants in Abia State have expressed happiness over Alex Oti's approval of a 70,000 naira minimum wage for workers while adopting a wait-and-see attitude, citing past disappointment with salary payments. Our correspondent in Aba, Chibike Magwomba, now reports.
In interviews, civil servants voiced their optimism about the new wage structure, stating that it would be a dream come true if it's paid.
It would be like a dream come true if eventually it happens, because presently I think a lot of people are wondering whether it is real, whether it is going to work out, whether it is actually true, because the economic hardship is really biting seriously all over the country. And if by God's grace, it finally becomes what we are expecting, I think everybody will be happy and it will calm the tension of economic stress in the land.
I'm feeling fine. I'm like it. I like what you said. Unless you didn't feel it. It's another thing to say I will do. That is that when you say something and you couldn't do that, that means what you say you have no value. But if you say something and you do whatever you say you will do, you're okay for it. If they can. But if they cannot do that, maybe that's what I can say, because we already had that. Don't know another plan he has, whether he will do it or not. But for me, I don't know.
They also highlighted how it would improve their finances. Many acknowledged that the increment would provide some relief amidst rising living costs in the state, while praying for a little more increase.
This means our dear noble government of the 70,000 to pay is something, rejoicing. It will bring development. Even I have a friend who was sick. Immediately he had it, the sickness, went away. So it's something of joy. It's going to bring development and a very good honor to him. This is what we have been expecting him, and that is the hope he has finally assured of.
Yes, of course. It will affect it positively somehow, even if it may not do much for me, but anything in addition to what I used to receive as my take home will be a plus and will go a long way to solve some problems in the family.
However, off the record, a sense of skepticism lingered. Several workers expressed concerns about the actual implementation of the wage, referring to past experiences where promised salary increments were either delayed or not fully implemented. The question remains, will the government deliver on its promise this time, or will Abia civil servants continue to wait for the long-promised financial relief? In Aba, Chibike Magomba, reporting for Afia TV.
Lastly, on the Southeast region, ahead of the forthcoming November 2 local government elections in Abia State, Governor Alex Oti has urged the Abia electorate to support and vote for candidates who share the same vision with him, irrespective of party affiliation. Oti spoke on Thursday while commissioning the newly rebuilt Aba South Local Government Area Administrative Office Complex and the refurbishment, of the emergency ambulances at the Aba South Local Government Headquarters. Also speaking, the Speaker at the State House of Assembly, Emmanuel Emeruwa, thanked the governor for assisting in ensuring that the office complex, which was destroyed during the NSAS protest, was rebuilt. In a speech, the mayor of Aba South Local Government Area, Chief Uche Nwogu, recalled how dilapidated the office complex was, especially after the NSAS protest a few years ago, and said that he joined the administrative style of Governor Oti to rebuild the office and make it a beautiful edifice. We'll go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll give you more stories on the news today. Just stay with us.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence. You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyna Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast size. The frequency of breastfeeding determines the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did single. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
It's a brand new week
week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV official, exclusive every weekday on Afia TV.
Time check is 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
You're still watching News Today right here on Afia TV. Moving on to the national front, President Bola Tinubu has asked the Nigerian Senate to screen and confirm 7 ministerial nominees. The executive communication was contained in a letter read by President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary session on Thursday. The request has been referred to the Committee of the Whole for expeditious consideration.
I am pleased to forward to the Senate the underlisted 7 nominees for confirmation as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are Dr. Nentawe Jilwada, Muhammadu Maigari Dengiadi, Bianca Odinaka Odumegu Ojukwu, Right Honorable Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, Edi Mokhtar Maha, Dr. Jumoke Oduwale, Suwaba Said Ahmad, PhD. While I hope that this request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept the distinguished Senate President and distinguished Senators the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This correspondence is referred to the Committee of the Whole for consideration as soon as possible.
The President made this new appointment following the dismissal of 5 ministers in the cabinet reshuffle that took place on Wednesday. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his dedication to livestock reforms, expressing his readiness to attract foreign investors, create employment opportunities, and elevate the livestock sector's value within the nation. The President made his intentions known during the stakeholders' consultative workshop on livestock reforms in Nigeria held at the Banquet Hall of the State House, Abuja. Sharing his vision on the livestock industry, the President stated that his administration aims to change livestock productiveness from its current sustenance model into a thriving commercialized industry. On his part, the co-chairman of the Livestock Reforms Committee, Professor Atai Rujega, said the workshop was convened to obtain additional inputs to the reform process and buy-in from a range of critical stakeholders drawn from the Nigerian livestock value chain and ecosystem. President Bola Tinubu has also restricted ministers, Minister of State, and heads of agencies of the federal government to a maximum of 3 vehicles in their official convoys. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanunga, who released a statement, said the cost-cutting measure was announced in a statement signed by the President. In the directive, Tinubu also ordered all ministers, ministers of state, and heads of agencies to have at most 5 security personnel attached to them. Recall that in January 2024, Tinubu issued a directive with the presidency, which the presidency said was to reduce government expenditure. Moving on, the Senate has announced 15% from the Consolidated Fund as a source of funding for the newly created Zonal Development Commissions by member states. These followed consideration and adoption of the report of the Senate Committee on Special Duties on the bills establishing the commissions. The Zonal Development Commission bills earlier passed included South Development Commission Establishment Bill 2024 and Northeast Development Commission Act Bill 2024. Others were Southeast Development Commission Act Bill 2024, Southwest Development Commission Establishment Bill 2024, and North Central Development Commission Establishment Bill 2024. Speaking, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, in his remarks said the provision was in order as constitutionally supported. Away from the national front and moving on to the business scene today, Emeka Odom, a seasoned journalist and public affairs analyst, has lauded the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government on the creation of the Ministry of Regional Development, but has said Nigerians need to experience real governance. He made his known on the Eastern Business Report segment of the Afia Business Morning with Ubong Kings.
It's not the job of the ministry to begin to work on these areas. That is why you have the commission. The commission is the agency, the organization that will have to tackle all of these issues as they are peculiar to the various regions. Now, the ministry is there to supervise, harmonize, and take their case to the cabinet level. And so, for me, it's a right step in the right direction. But having said that, it's not just about creating the ministry, changing the nomenclature, and somehow, in quote, playing to the gallery. It's not just that. We want to see real governance. When this ministry is properly established, when they complete the processes of balancing the papers and moving the personnel and changing the nomenclatures and every other thing else, we want to see real work. We want to see real supervision. The ministry must play its role.
On the appointment of Bianca Odinaka Odumegu Ojukwu, widow of the late Biafran leader Odumegu Ojukwu, as Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, he said it was not significant to the Southeast, as there were other ways to make significant inclusion of Ndigbo in the Tinubu-led government.
Whether some appointments were significant or not, for me, I don't think so. What is significant about it? You from Anambra State, the president dropped Uju Kennedy Ohanene, right? And from who was a minister Minister of Women Affairs. That's a substantive minister. Now you are appointing from the same state a minister of state. Now, from what we know, Minister of State is a little bit, in terms of protocol, is a little bit inferior to a high-standing position in the past. She was an ambassador, a former Nigerian ambassador. Is this Spain or where? But, So what is significant is she's been asked to come to the cabinet. She is qualified. She is qualified by every standard. So that's the widow of the late Ikemba is being given an appointment. Is it what all of us should go and, walk around Lagos Lagoon and clap? If the president wants to, do something that's very significant per se, let him give 2 service chiefs to the Southeast. And if you go to the cabinet list now and find out, the whole of Southeast, that's the region with the least appointments.
The Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu has approved the establishment of the Creative Economy Development Fund to pool resources for those in the creative industry. Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Anantu Musawa, revealed this shortly after the meeting, which was held at the council chambers of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. She said the ministry has gotten commitment from Afreximbank to the tune of $200 million to kickstart the fund.
Today we sought for approval from the Federal Executive Council for the creation of a Creative Economy Development Fund. This is a special purpose vehicle that will allow members within the creative economy to have access to funding and also use their IP as collateral in terms of monetization. We identified very early on that the very basic structures in order for us to really tap into the potential of the creative economy was missing. So we got to work in putting up those structures. IP policy is one of those very basic structures that was missing. We are working together with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment and with the Ministry of Justice to ensure that we deliver IP policy, hopefully within maximum, within at the very last phase, within the next 2 weeks. So that IP will allow creatives to use it to get collateral, to get access to funding. And again, one of the things that we identified was that members of the community, the creative community, cultural and creative community, have absolutely no access to funding. So this is a special purpose vehicle that will give them funding, that will be able to allow us to leverage funding that we're getting. We already have commitment, for example, from Afreximbank that has committed to giving us $200 million and a number of other sources. So this is a special purpose vehicle that will allow us to give this funding to members within the community, and hopefully we'll be able to really tap into the potential and reach our targets of economic expansion, creative expansion, cultural expansion, of course, job creation specifically for a younger demographic.
According to Musawa, the IP will allow creatives to use it to get collateral for access to funding. Moving on to the international front, Turkey to seek improved Africa cooperation in the Djibouti talks. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan will travel to Djibouti next week to attend a Turkey-Africa ministerial meeting and discuss improving cooperation between Ankara and the continent. NATO member Turkey has ramped up its presence and influence in Africa in recent years, increasing trade nearly eightfold, giving diplomatic and military support to some countries, and inking deals in various fields. The officials of the foreign minister noted that the Djibouti meeting would evaluate a previous conference held in 2021 and discuss possible moves to deepen cooperation. The meeting will be held on November 2 to 3 and will be attended by representatives from 14 African countries, along with Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. In other news, King Charles has acknowledged painful aspects of Britain's past while sidestepping calls to directly address reparations for slavery at the summit of Commonwealth leaders. Charles spoke to leaders representing 56 Commonwealth nations at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Pacific Ocean of Samoa, his first time attending the summit since taking the throne. In his speech, the king also addressed the climate crisis development challenges and paid tribute to Queen Elizabeth. Meanwhile, there have been calls from some African and Caribbean nations for Britain and other European powers to pay financial compensation for slavery. Coming up is a report on the NITP advocating improved town planning policies as National Conference holds in Enugu. Details comes up after the break. Please stay with us. The Nigerian Institute of Town Planners has advocated for improved town planning policies at its national conference held in Enugu. Afia TV's correspondent John Odenibu gives us more.
In a grand reception titled A Night with the Chairman, Barrister Chike F. Maduekwe, Chairman and Chief Executive of the Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board, addressed a gathering of executives of planning boards, stakeholders and professionals in the urban development sector. The event held on Thursday at Lugat Crescent 2 Enugu celebrated the remarkable strides made by the board in shaping the fiscal landscape of Anambra State while providing an opportunity for networking among attendees. In his keynote address, the Chairman Chief Executive Anambra State Planning Board, Barrister Chike F. Maduekwe, highlighted that private sector partnerships with state planners are already in place, explaining the purpose of the event.
The private sector is already playing a role because in Anambra, for instance, we cooperate and collaborate with all the professionals in the built environment, and that will include the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the Nigerian Institute of Architects, town planners, builders, all of them, quantity surveyors, the surveyors, everybody in the built environment who of course operate in the private sector are collaborating with us. We have set up what we call the one-stop shop. And what it will do is to improve the ease of doing business, because you know that in most places, the construction sector is key. Everything you want to do will start with construction. And if that construction is not well planned, then, you know, you failed. So we're working with the private sector. A lot of people here are not really government people. They work in the private sector. And we believe that such collaboration will be to the best interest of the people.
Meanwhile, Dr. Olazie Edoye, Director Cartography of National Population Commission, Abuja, praised the chairman and called on the government to establish a local planning authority to improve conditions in Anambra State.
We have been doing well in terms of making sure that Fiscal Planning Board is on top of fiscal development in Anambra State. But there are certain things that need to be done. One is to make sure that local planning authorities are properly constituted, because for now we have only the executive secretary in all the 21 local government areas. So our view is that Mr. Governor should constitute the local planning authorities as is established in the fiscal planning law, where you have 8 professionals, core professionals from the built environment, to be members of these 21 local government areas. They will now help government in making Anambra the Dubai of Africa.
Dr. Walter Ben, Chairman of the Anambra State chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, emphasized the significance of effective planning and appealed to the government to take necessary actions.
There must have to be a good land use plan, so that the whole urban, especially urban areas, even villages, need to be planned so that this urban sprawl and urban migration that people are now rushing to urban areas will not affect those rural areas in the future, because many rural areas in the country now is a glorified urban areas, because infrastructure like in Anambra State, almost all the towns in Anambra State are qualified to be urban areas.
Some town planners at the event shared their experiences working with the chairman.
I call Barrister Maduekwe the knight with a shining armor, because he's the executive chairman, Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board. I was the general manager. I retired as the general manager, Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board. And when I was there, I became a MD. And as at that time, the governor of Anambra State didn't want to see any town planner. The man simply sacked every town planner. And when they made me the general manager, I was like, am I going to last here? So suddenly I didn't know him from Adam. Suddenly, the governor appointed him as a chairman of the board, and now he became my shield. And if you see, don't mind him. When you see him, he walks so quietly, and so he's very intelligent, very compassionate, and he's moving the office in a manner I can't even understand. I left since 2018, and I'm so proud of him. That is why I made up my mind I was going to be in this. I was going to honor a night with him.
For me to describe him, I'll use one word for him. He's a father that have listening ears to people or to his staffs.
And he has been a wonderful leader to us. He has done a lot of changes in our office in all ramifications. He's not just only a leader, he's a father to each and every one of all the people under him. He has been a great man.
The event featured an appreciation speech from the town planners, and attendees enjoyed a vibrant atmosphere filled with joyful dancing, triumphant cheers, and networking opportunities, enabling stakeholders to connect and exchange ideas. As the evening concluded, it was evident that under the leadership of Barrister Chike Maduekwe, the Anambra State Fiscal Planning Board is making significant strides towards creating a more vibrant and well-planned future for the state.
On the discussion segment today, President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday appointed Bianca Ojukwu, the widow of the late Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, as the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. The appointment has sparked controversy on social media, with some suggesting it may be a strategic move by the president for the 2027 elections, while others associate her role with her husband's prominence. Now, joining me to talk about this is Mrs. Onyinye Mama, Executive Director, Heroine Women Foundation, and President, Women Supporting Women. How are you doing, ma'am? You're welcome on the program.
Thank you there.
So what's your thoughts on all of this?
All right, so when I saw the sack list, right, so I quickly had to scan through the names and the portfolio of the persons that were sacked. So I was a little bit pessimistic about the list, right, because people were all out about Honorable Minister Uju Kennedy. But the other two ladies that were part of the sack list, up to date, there's no press release or follow-up on the people of Nigeria what led to their sack. I mean, someone has to commit offense or be, culpable for an issue to receive a sack. Somebody was talking to me over the phone 2 days ago and he said, "Did you say sack?" I said, "Yes." I said, that happens abroad when someone commits a criminal offense or something that's totally out of the organizational mandate. So the word sack is a very heavy one. And up till now, we've not heard anything on what is reducing the number of women in the federal cabinet.
So what do you think could be the reason for the sack?
Okay, so I don't want to preempt reasons and I don't want to assume, but I think there's also a political sketch down of the number of women in the cabinet, right? Because I saw the former Minister of State Affairs, the very young one, she stepped down too, because I don't want to call it sack. If I don't know why they left their offices, I can't call it a sack. If I had taken, or if the word reshuffle had blown up more than the word sack, I would say that's more credible to the personalities you call ministers. But hearing sack and not getting a follow-up, memo or follow-up release to say this is what these people do to be sacked from office. I mean, it's the basis of who they are. I know a lot of women were all out against the Minister of Women Affairs because of the fight she was fighting that the outer world did not understand, which I do because I have a personal relationship with her. And so when I saw that pain of an announcement, I reached out and I said, I wish Nigerians can tell of your inner intentions. Unfortunately, I still await what you will do later. Because just a week ago, she came all out to do a poverty alleviation program in Anambra, and we were planning for the one in Enugu, and I heard this. It it was such a pullback for me. I wish that the president will find a way, or within his cabinet, they will find a way to relate to us why the number of women are drastically reducing in the number of ministers we have in Nigeria. Recall that Betta was accused without the judge's verdict up till now, and she had to leave the humanitarian ministry. Now the Minister of Women Affairs is gone, and 2 others in line with her. And you know that in the file-up of the ministers we have in Nigeria, we don't even have up to 35%. So the little number we're trying to manage and continue to sing about inclusivity and gender participation has also gone down. And I wish this doesn't come to the point where the ministers will remain all men and it will be business as usual. Just one woman, a women affairs minister, and all of.
I totally agree with you, because I've been seeing comments on social media talking about Bianca Ojukwu that was appointed. People saying it's because she was married to Ojukwu. She's not. You know, when it's a woman appointed into a leadership position, there are always talks. I mean, do you think it's a deserving appointment?
Oh my God! Maybe people do not talk from the place of knowledge. Bianca is a diplomat, she's a lawyer, she's a businesswoman, very well schooled, read, and a vast traveler. So what in the sense of argument would you want to say makes her position undeserving? I mean, it doesn't look like what we should be saying at this time and age. 21st century thinker should be thinking about reasonability and innovation, and you know, I think we should be waving out from the gender discrimination thing, but we're still very much encumbered with the gender bias in this side of the world, and it's such an amazement to me.
And there's also been talks that Tinubu is he used the appointment to reward the Igbos.
All right, you see, marvelous. I would also want to hear that he's using appointments to favor Igbo by giving a whole lot more credible, innovative and intelligent Igbo. You see, I'm not the ethnic kind of person, and I do not thrive in bias until I find substantial reasons, right? So if you say it's an Igbo conferment or an Igbo indulgence, the fact is that she's now part of the cabinet. Let her prove her salt, all right? If she steps in there and she does very well, let her bring in more Igbo. If it's an Igbo sentiment or bias, it doesn't mean a thing for me. For me, the things I carry are things that carry weight and substance. I do not like to thrive on arguments that, you know, it kind of reflects so much bias. I love weight. If it's not a substantial discussion, I don't really thrive on it. But my concern is the number of women in his cabinet are trickling down by the day, and for any good observing gender advocate, that should be a priority and a concern.
Talking about number of women reducing in the cabinet, do you think it would be an easy ride for Bianca Ojukwu?
It's not going to be an easy ride anytime, and you know, the government we're operating, is that which tells us it has a concern and the heartbeat of the people in its knob, but in practice it is far-fetched, right? So I tell you, Bianca is in for a fight. When I was coming in from Anambra, I read up an article that said already the people of her own party, people from another party, which is APC, is already contesting that she should not be given the ministerial appointment. Remember, Igbo people, Anambra people in APC now contesting against their own sister. So you can understand where...
Are women really supporting women?
Do you understand me? We are still far in what we are doing. There are lots of people who are still asleep, but they have notions. And notions they can't water properly. Could you imagine if you're an Igbo person and you're in a party? I mean, at this point, where it be feel, I don't know how to talk about it, but it kind of shocked to me. Because the election is gone. What we should be focusing on is good governance and not what your party is going to do. So Igbo brothers in the same state are agitating that she should not be given the ministerial appointment just because she's in another party and there are people in another party. We're not even seeing it as human beings being credible and viable enough to sit in for positions.
So what are your expectations from Bianca Ojoko as the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs?
So I have a nodding acquaintance with Bianca, right? I've met her in forum where we sat together. I've heard her talk. I've seen her presentation. I know she's regal. She has a courage. She speaks well, and she has a wealth of knowledge in what she knows how to do. I mean, a successful businesswoman, a diplomat, and a lawyer. She's vast with experience. So I don't expect her not to give us the best. We're here to support. I'm already supporting. From my own corner, I will always support any woman. That's why I don't label women outside. I label them face to face. If I'm with you, I tell you I don't like what you're doing. If you expect me to come and wash a woman's dirty linen outside, you can never find me doing that. I know we have a lot of dirty linen, but I don't wash it outside because we need to get more numbers first before we can reduce.
So just to wrap up our discussion, what steps can be taken to ensure that this appointment leads to sustained progress in gender equality and inclusion?
All right, so I think she needs to bring in more women. Okay. So as vast and as knowledgeable as you could be, you need a whole lot of people to, blossom the innovation that you think about every day. Someone could be so good, so, vastly experienced, but nobody's an island. So he needs to open door to more women that are knowledgeable, probably have gone there before, are still in the field. And a lot of women in the media, she needs to make them her friend now.
A lot of women in media, not just any.
Yes, a lot of women in the media.
Women are
she needs to make them her friend so that they report exactly what happens within her job and within her interventions.
Mrs. Onyinye Mama, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now to end the news, here is a recap of the top stories. Governor Mba announces 80,000 naira as the new minimum wage for workers. Meanwhile, President Tinubu restricts ministers, others to a maximum of 3 vehicles in their official convoys. And on the business news, FEC approves the establishment of the Creative Economy Development Fund. And lastly, King Charles acknowledges painful slavery past. And that's all on the news today. Many, many thanks for staying with us. Do not forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Afia TV Official. I am Marvelous Apamaga. Do have a lovely day.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owners, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of paying salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast size. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing.
For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV official, exclusive every weekday on Afia TV.
Time check is 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next girl store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
An incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Ghana Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing.
For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity.
up, but they know. Buried alive by the lies in they soul. They stride of a blind man's stroll. But for whom does the next bell toll? I'm too many years in the zone. Too many years to have built what I own. And many dumb fools try to take what I've grown. But these roots go deep and you can't build a stone. So if you wanna push, I'ma shove. If you wanna spar, we can do it, no gloves. And if you're gonna run at me, you better do it hard. Cause I fear no fall, no brawl, no scars. I'm 2 pounds shy of a bomb. I'm 1 shade short of alarm. I'm too past wrath that I'm calm. Got 2 last laughs in my palms. I'm 3 degrees west of a hurricane. 4-wheel drive with a ball and chain. My 5'7" is irrelevant. I'm 6'6" if you threaten my development. Now see a wise man learn from your mistakes and let the blunders of his brother serve to fill his plate. So best be on your way before the tidal wave breaks. Cause you don't wanna come to meet the reaper that awaits.
You are advancing from here 2 places. Blue, once you're entering, the blue people should go to their side, the red should go to their side. I understand that some people, some places it's closer to the flag. That's understandable, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is don't get shot trying to get that flag. Once you are shot, you are dead. And you're dead, the shot I'm talking about is from your abdomen up, the front, and your head. If they shoot you at your arm, you're not dead. But if they shoot you at the leg, you're not shot at your arm. Your back, your back, your front, and your head. Is that clear? So once you're entering now, blue this way, red this way. Remember, don't get shot. And once you get there, bring out the flag and hold it up. Raise it up. Don't touch. Raise it up and hold it, and then we call it up. Then the people that advanced in this set would wait for the next people for the final round. Is that clear? Is that clear? All right. I mean, you don't load them. So you have 50 bullets. Please start coming. Yeah. No.
My lunch is the prime minister and I need to be very close. Am I allowed to enter?
No, you can't enter.
That's okay.
Hold Hey, stop. Please wipe it off.
If not for one for me, they don't bury it.
serious. I don't know why you do. Yeah, now we do that. That girl with my ghost mask. They are biased. I thought it's on the other team. He needs to video the winning team. You know? Waste the bullet, protect one person. Just wow, who shot that one? My own gun is not. What are they doing? Super good, they shoot one man. I swear, I don't know how this is where they wait. Wait, you gonna be voice in the you shout. Hello? How are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Tell me your experience. What is your plan?
Okay.
What do you plan to do when you get there?
To kill everybody. Kill all my opponents. I'm going to the aim and shoot. Of course.
Tell me, have you done this time?
No, this is actually my first time.
Imagine if the life gone. How do you plan? How do you plan to shoot bullets?
Okay, I'm going to aim from here to here. Then I target my opponent and shoot. Exactly. Of course. Of course.
Tell me how you plan getting the flag.
Basically, I'm going to run through the woods and then make sure I'm not shot by my opponent when I get to where. That's it. So I'm hoping to get the flag.
Joshua.
He get dizzy. Just forget about gun or any bullets where they come close. Just crawl, they go.
Notice up.
Stand up and move to the next tree. Stand up and run to the next tree. Nobody will touch you.
They will shoot them. If you run, nobody will touch you.
Oh, that's our target.
Don't touch that one.
Check.
Call your teams together.
From that angle, mark there.
You know I'm not, but you better
Real life.
Hold on. Where are they paying you? Hold on.
Raise the flag.
There's no flag there. What are we not doing?
Stop! Aim well and shoot! Stop laughing! Aim and shoot! Dave, take 5!
Thank you very much.
Bros, come now. It's supposed to be 5 inside, now 4 inside.
Man. Check this out, 200,000, we are blowing it up this evening if we win. That's as in nothing else. That's what we want to do. And eliminating 10 people, that's the plan. Anyhow, by all means necessary. Guy, we don't need plan. I just
like you're standing at the point. You agree? Captain to captain, no agree. You settle am, bro. Chuka, you can stand on a headshot. Stand there. I love you. Not here now. You know what you
Why are you so loud? Cool down. It's a game.
Celebrating lifestyle and culture is one thing Ndi Igbo are well known for. Today, we take you through the sights and sounds of the Enugu Coal Camp Biennial Festival and Carnival, which brings Ndi Coal Camp, Ndi Enugu, and Ndi Igbo at large together. The 10-year-old carnival was pioneered by His Royal Highness, late Igwe Moses Nnamdi. Interestingly, the festival is also said to have been inspired by the cultural diversity of the inhabitants of Coal Camp.
Sideni Kigeke Yeremu, Boyana Nochite, Igwe, Enugu, one autonomous community, Good Christopher, Olivu, Ezra Roman is second, Enugu, one autonomous community, Srikanga Baniru, Wegoji, Adamagani came, come on, no, you can you. Kanja Goya Moji. I go. N'usoro esi aga ọjị anyị na-asị Chukwu okike ọbịọma onye ọ dị n'ugwu ime ihe niile onye na-agọzi mmadụ onye ọbịa abụghị nwere ike ime ihe niile a na-eme n'ụwa anyị na-asị ya dịka ọ na-agọzi ụmụ kap na-ebunye anyị elu na-emere anyị ezigbo ife dị iche iche anyị na-asị ya ka ọ dịara ụmụ kapụ mma n'aha Jizọs. Ihe anyị na-ahịa bụ ogologo ndụ na-arụ isi ike ife agbapụ na ife nwenwe mkpụrụ nke afọ nwoke na nwanyị anyị na-ahịa ndị ka na-anụbere nwanyị ka ha nụọ nwanyị ndị ka na-anụbere di ka ha nụọ di n'aha Jizọs. Ụmụ anyị ga na-enweta ọrụ ụmụ anyị ga na-eje obodo oyibo ndị na-enene waya ga na-apas ndị nọ n'ụlọ ọgwụ a ga-agwọ ha ndị na-ebi ihe mkpa ihe ọbụla bụ echi anyị na-ayọ Chukwu okike ọbịa ka o merie ndị Enugu Ọba Autonomous Community, merie Enugu State, merie Nigeria in general.
This 2024 edition had guests such as the Commissioner of Culture and Tourism, Honorable Dame Ugochi Madueke, who had a good time celebrating with Ndiko Camp and thoroughly enjoyed herself.
I am here today to celebrate with Ndiko Camp. This is a big festival going on here. This is showcasing of our culture, our cultural heritage. That is what we are doing here today. As you can see, we have so many masquerades, cultural troops, name it, all the youths in Camp, those who are born and bred in Camp, even those abroad, they all came back here today just to celebrate this event. We encourage every other community to come together and emulate what Camp is doing today. We expect to do this in every other community in Enugu Metropolis.
The former Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, Honorable Dr. Chinedu Nwamba, also expressed his delight with what he experienced at the festival.
I feel so happy and elated. As you can see, I came here with my children for them to witness our culture, how our people were living when we were growing up. You know, I'm so happy coming to see this caliber of people. This event is well organized and the crowd is too much. I'm so happy.
The president, Camp Welfare Association, who is also the chairman organizing committee of Camp Festival, Comrade Emmanuel Umadi Chidozie, spoke about the significance of the event.
Camp is a diverse community where we have Hausas, the Igbos, and the Yorubas living within and among themselves here in Camp. And that gives us the inspiration, if I may say, to begin to do this carnival so that we know the way Hausa peoples do their own culture and the Yoruba people how they practice their own culture too. And then as well, we also understand the way we do our own culture, the way we practice our own culture. You can see it yourself. Masquerades everywhere. The Yorubas will still come and perform. The Hausas will still come and perform. We will know how they practice their culture because we said we are one Nigeria. So we should be able to know how they practice their own culture. And then we know how we practice our own culture too. By special grace of God, this is the 10th year of this carnival. Started in 2014. This is 2024. So it's 10 years old now. I can alone in a chopai, but confiding the Caronesia Bata. Get take care a little back. This carnival, I never thought we done at the year 2014. That year 2014, I did a carnival. I did on Easter Sunday. Tonya Bidoria Bona Yuku. Let His Royal Highness Iwe Moses Nante Okwara Sanya Kembu Nenu Boma one autonomous community. Biye Nasilanya Sinoga Dimma na camp Nine Nenu Boma one Nine Gabakanotono Nenugu State Gabakanotono na Ko Camp Bisho Boto Nenugu State Makane Iboko City Iboko Camp. And I must tell you the truth that the Ko Camp is the first township in Enugu State and the first township in Eastern Region. By the special grace of God, this year, bro, season 5, that means this carnival, I got 10 years old. Who man about tackling the 10 years, the apples about tackling. I went to the Rimba when I'm here. Over in 2020. Let's look why I went up a show, but I don't know why can't about pandemic and about COVID-19. I went back to we follow government instruction. I get channel. Gabu carnival that what. But can even point out if you that like this carnival now attract more than 100 and something thousand people in Ko Camp. In order not to help to separate the disease of the virus bacteria, I wear one thing. We run at 2022. I wear men kind of season 4. Kind of don't organize. We run at 2025. I wear Pacolita. And go over one. Wear Pacolita. Like this year, Gabu or Dobo.
Ko Camp is said to be a united community which inhabits Ndi Igbo, Ndi Yoruba, and Ndi Hausa, inspiring the people to organize a festival that further unifies them and promotes their different cultures. From lively music and dance to captivating masquerades and mouth-watering dishes, the carnival is always a feast to behold.
Awaiting Governor of Enugu State. On our one.
There was so much joy and excitement in the air as Ndi Coal Camp and their visitors enjoyed great feasting, networking, bonding, and fun.
Don't fit, baby.
I got the keys to the city, telling them it's better free me. Feeling high, that's me. Feeling fly, that's me. I got the keys to the city, telling them it's better free me. Feeling high, that's me. Feeling fly, that's me. I ain't got no time, I ain't got no time. You know, please stop my shine, so you see me shine. I ain't got no time, I ain't got no time. You know, please stop my shine, so you see me shine. Oh, you know, say you know, come here to play. I've been planning this one better. I know fit to stop my grind, I said we just walking every day to be okay. No, they tell me nothing, no, they tell me nothing. This girl after something, this girl after something. Trying to stop my grind, trying to stop my grind. You know that's a crime, you know that's a crime, yeah. I ain't got the time for worries, all I know is peace, yeah. I ain't got apologies for flying overseas, yeah. I'm the truth, I'm the ish now. Trying to block my view, I go drop over you. I got the keys to the city, telling them it's been free. Feeling high, that's me. Feeling fly, that's me. I got the keys to the city, telling them it's been free. Feeling high, that's me. Feeling fly, that's me. I ain't got no time, I ain't got no time. You know, feel stop my shine, so you see me shine. I ain't got no time, I ain't got no time. You know, feel stop my shine, so you see me shine. I keep grinding till I blow. You can't bring me down so low. I keep grinding till I blow. Either I win or I win, either I win or I win. I look at it time for failure. Either I win or I win, either I win or I win, either I win or I win. I look at it time for failure. Either I win or I win. I ain't got no time for worries, all I know is peace, yeah. Peace, 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 peace. Tryna block my view, I go jump over you. I got a blurry point 2 seconds. They ain't lame, mind your own business. We the pray to God every day, every night, make we up this. The pray for money, we keep the pray for wisdom. So to spend that wisely, so you don't go back for money. I got the keys to the city, telling them it's been free. Feeling high, that's me. Feeling fly, that's me. I got the keys to the city, telling them it's been free. Feeling high, that's me. Feeling fly, that's me. I ain't got no time, I ain't got no time. You know, feel stop my shine, so you see me shine. I ain't got no time, I ain't got no time. You know, feel stop my shine, so